Cold water doesn't care how brave you are. It kills fast, silently, and without mercy. During World War II, thousands of soldiers were thrown into freezing oceans with no heaters, no thermal wetsuits, and no rescue in sight. And yet, some lived, not because of luck, because of brutal knowledge, raw discipline, and survival tricks learned the hard way. This is how men survived the frozen seas of World War II without heat, and why every second mattered. The sea itself was used as a tool. Salt water freezes at a lower temperature than fresh water, and, experienced sailors knew this mattered. In some cases, men partially submerged themselves instead of clinging fully exposed on wreckage, using the water's relative stability to avoid wind chill, which stripped heat even faster than water. They also avoided unnecessary exposure during rescues. Pulling a man fully into cold air too early could shock the system. Survivors were sometimes kept partially wet until shelter was secured. This wasn't kindness. It was cold logic. Training beat panic. WWII armies drilled cold water survival relentlessly, especially air crews flying over oceans. Panic killed faster than cold. Men were taught what hypothermia felt like, how long they had, and what to prioritize. Breathe first, float second, think third. This training paid off. Survivors consistently reported that knowing what was happening kept them calm. Calm conserved energy. Energy bought time. Time meant rescue. One official study during the war showed that trained airmen survived significantly longer in cold water than untrained sailors, even when they had similar gear. Knowledge was heat. Men who drank before exposure died faster. The military learned this quickly and stamped it out hard. Rescue was never guaranteed. Here's the harsh truth. Most men who entered frozen seas in the Second World War did not survive long. Even with training and gear, rescue windows were, pretty narrow. In near-freezing water, average survival time was often under 30 minutes. Sometimes it was far less. What separated survivors was preparation, discipline, and luck, in that order. Some men endured hours by clinging to wreckage, huddling in groups, and just refusing to move. Others died within minutes because panic took over. The sea didn't care who they were. Why this still matters? Modern technology has improved survival gear, sure, but the core lessons haven't changed. Cold kills fast. Stillness saves lives. Knowledge is power. The Second World War forced these lessons to be learned in blood. The soldiers who survived frozen seas without heat didn't beat the cold. They slowed it, long enough for rescue, long enough to live. And that's the real story. Not heroics, not miracles, just men using everything they knew to steal time from an unforgiving ocean. If you found this breakdown valuable and want more real, raw stories from the front lines of history, make sure you subscribe to Life in Wartime WWII. Share this video with fellow history lovers and keep the past alive by learning how survival was earned, not given.